Hello and welcome to the Philippines, MACTAN International Airport, MACTAN Cebu International Airport, Cebu City. I'm going to show you inside the domestic terminal, the terminal that handles flights within the city. That what we were looking at there, those big arched beams, that was the international Terminal 2, called Terminal 2, and I'm walking over to Terminal 1. Took a hobble motorbike taxi over here. Didn't find any taxis available when I left my condo. And so security directed the motorbike driver over to the motorbike parking, which is over in the international terminal area. So I'm walking back to Terminal 1. Yes, you can walk between terminals. I think there is a shuttle, not absolutely positive. I think there is a shuttle going from the Terminal 1 to Terminal 2. Domestic terminal is 1. And right across the street, over to the left a little bit, is what's called Waterfront Hotel and Casino. Some of you have stayed there before. There are a number of restaurants, fast food places inside the terminal. They've really done a major remodel job in the last few years, I must say. And I was able to go in. I was picking somebody up here, actually, one of my subscribers, and it's not a service I perform regularly, very often, only I think once or twice in 7 years. But he had some, he got handicapped, so he had some special needs, and he wanted me to help him with a number of things. I'll show you a little bit about the restaurants and stuff in here. They've got a Casa Verde in here restaurant, which is one of my favorite places. There are a string of them in a number of malls and outside the malls as well. Got taxis, bus to city, other transportation. I talked to the auto rental places. That was kind of a unique experience. The terminal area for ticketed passengers in there. You can, they have Enterprise here, Alamo, a few other, and they've got some Philippine-based auto rental places. Works a little bit differently than in the States. Many of the rental places ask for a 5,000 peso deposit. Now in the U.S. you can put that on your credit card generally, but here it's a cash deposit. You need 5,000 pesos cash, about 100 U.S. dollars. Put down cash deposit, as well as paying for your rental, probably with credit card. My friend's flight from Manila, he flew from the U.S. into Manila, I think Portland to L.A. to forget if he went into Taiwan or Japan, I think, Tokyo, and then here anyway, his flight out of Manila. Canceling flights seems to be very common. They took 2 half-full planes and made one flight out of those. It turned out to be a packed flight anyway. I'm hearing more and more that's happening. Same thing with ferries. Ferries are getting canceled. Maybe not enough people for all the ferries, so they cancel one ferry and you got to wait for the next one. Krispy Kreme, all right, donuts. Ayers Lechon. Well, I can see a baggage claim in there, so I guess I'm gonna meet this guy someplace out here. Fast Transit. Car rental. Fast Transit Corporation. Your car rental partner. Alamo, Enterprise, National, Mubahai Car Rentals. Carcom, Alamo, Check Cars, Flamingo Rent-A-Car, Eurocar. Taxi, and Jollibee in there. Wow. Taxi, bus to city, rental cars. Meeting area right here, it says. Now, this is the domestic terminal for all flights within the Philippines. There's an international terminal too. Everything there would be a little bit different. But outside this area, you've got the buses. Mybus is one of the companies. It's called Mybus, and it runs like from here to over to SM Mall, Cebu City, and then they have additional buses that will take you far. I think they go as far south as Talisay, which is a town just on the south side of Cebu City, and you've got yellow taxis, which are airport taxis, charge about twice as much as white taxis. Now, from here into central Cebu City, probably cost you 350, 450 pesos, 7, 8, $9 for a white taxi, twice that. 15 to $18 for a yellow taxi. Then they also have vans, and then here's a car rental place. If you want to self-drive, they've got a number to call from Enterprise. I think they will deliver cars to you. I know they used to do that occasionally for me in the U.S. I'll tell you a little bit about the rates that I found out here in a bit, but this was a van. We had two guys. My subscriber, this is Ricky. He's got a tourist company, and maybe I'll put a link to his thing. Kind of a tourist. He plans tours for people up in Baguio, up north of Manila, up in the mountains. So anyway, now this video is me. I took a hobble over here, a motorbike taxi, and we're going towards the airport. So you're gonna see it was about a 35-minute trip by taxi. Probably would have been closer to 45, 55 an hour trip. There again, depending on traffic. If it was rush hour, there would be a lot more traffic out here. So we're going from Mandaue City, Cebu City, across the bridge over towards MACTAN CEBU International Airport. So you get to see the drive in there. But anyway, talking to the rental places, the one place that was a Philippine-based car rental place, she said the only thing we have available is SUVs, kind of like a big minivan, I think. That's all they had available, and that was going to be 3,500 pesos a day. I think that's what she said. Now, can you book those online? I'm not sure. I think Enterprise you can, I think. And some of those, maybe Alamo, some of those international car places, probably, I would think you could. The smaller cars, I think, would go for 20. I think Enterprise quoted me 2,300, and another place quoted me 2,500 pesos, so about $50 a day US. And I asked them all, and they said yes, that did include insurance. And similar to in the U.S., if you leave with a full tank of gas, you're supposed to bring it back with a full tank of gas, or you will be charged quite a bit for the fuel. As I've stated in other videos, if you want to rent a car and driver for a day, I suggest you can go through these rental places, and they might have something available. Or you can contact some of the hotels. Contact Radisson Blu. Contact Mandarin Bay. Contact Quest Hotel, and others. Crown Regency. They should have contacts with taxis and drivers who will give you a daily rate with the driver. And even the vans, you can get a larger van as well and rent that out by the day with the driver. And keep in mind what I mentioned earlier, they asked for a 5,000 peso cash deposit. So, that's not pocket change for a lot of us. So you have to be sure that you have that deposit. My experience also in hotels, some of the hotels, when I first came here, wanted $1,000, not $1,000, 1,000 peso, about 20 US dollar deposit, and they wouldn't put it on the credit card. It had to be cash. The cash deposit for the cars also. They won't put that on a credit card. It has to be cash money. If you watch some of my other videos about driving in the Philippines, you might consider hiring a car and a driver. Now the van that we hired out of the airport, we were going to make two different stops, two different hotels, and I didn't negotiate it. Somebody else, I think Ricky did, and I think they quoted him 1,300 pesos, 1,300 pesos, which, considering they're making two different stops and a nice big van, worked out because there was plenty of room. Both Ricky and my subscriber had quite a bit of luggage, so there was space in there for all that. Would have never fit. Would have never fit in a regular taxi. I believe Ayala Mall has a service also. They've got a shuttle over to the airport a couple times, two, three, four times a day, I believe. You've got to reserve that in advance. But you can't just show up and jump in because they schedule those by the number of people who are scheduled, I think. And I think Ayala Mall also has. I saw a sign the other day. They have trips certain number of times a day out to New Star Casino down in South Road Properties as well. If anybody's interested in that. That building just to the left there, that is part of Waterfront Hotel and Casino, just across the street, basically, from the, used to be able to walk across the street, and now they've changed the road system a little bit. Not sure if you can walk anymore, if you need to take a taxi or something over there. This whole area with the added new International Terminal 2 has changed quite a bit in the last few years. I think there are a couple hotels that offer shuttle service. I know that in the U.S. when I'd fly into L.A., I think I stayed at a travel lodge, and they had shuttle service that would pick you up, and so they would take you to the hotel and take you back to the airport. I think there are at least a couple places here that have that service. Not absolutely positive though. Check with your hotel when you're booking. Now, I tried to get him to drop me off right at the terminal, but the security guy directed him to go this way, over to the motorbike parking over very close, right in front of the international terminal, which was fine. Then I got to walk over there, no big deal. And it says, "Don't press any buttons. Wave your hand." And we waved and waved and waved. Eventually, we got the parking ticket. I think it cost 20 pesos, I think. In Phoenix, Arizona, there's a number of the. Well, I used to use an airport shuttle, and instead of a taxi, you get into an airport shuttle, and many different passengers will get into that, and they'll deliver you around all around to various parts. Costs a lot less than a taxi. Takes a little longer too, depending upon where you are in the queue to get dropped off there. I don't think they have anything like that here. There again, that's the new international terminal you're looking at straight ahead, and some of the parking. And I'm not sure how much long-term parking costs in here, but you can see they seem to be pretty busy. Trying to find our way back out of here was a little bit of a trick. And as far as meeting, kind of in the middle of the domestic terminal, there are baggage claim areas. You're not allowed to go in there, but people coming out, depending upon what airline you're coming in, you come out of one side or the other side, but people were waiting there rather than that area that said this is a waiting area. Most of the people who were meeting passengers waited outside of those baggage claim areas, and that's eventually where I went to meet. And then we're going to go up here, and then he drops me off here and asking the guy, "How do you get out of here?" Take a right and go. So I got off and walked on in the terminal. Anyway, thanks for watching. Just give you a little bit of a glimpse inside of the terminal here. Talk to you later.